is to stand up and talk for my rights. I know what that is. See? And I don't care who the guy is. Because my right is my right.
Welcome to Ask the Lawyer with Brian Figueroa of the law firm of Figueroa and Associates for a free, no obligation legal consultation on issues such as immigration, personal injury, bankruptcy, divorce, family law, estate planning, wills and probate, deed transfers, civil rights, criminal defense, workers' compensation, and taxes, both individual and business. Call us at 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we got the answers.
Good day, good day, good day. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa and Associates, the law firm. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers, and hey, prices are going up. It's going up for food, it's going up for the various services that we need to survive, and the salaries, the wages that we have now is not going to obviously purchase things that we used to get, as opposed to obviously the cost of living. It is very difficult for those who are here legally, for those who are U.S. citizens. It is obviously better for those who are members of a union or work on Wall Street, off Wall Street, corporate America. For those who have immigrated to the United States of America, both old and new immigrants, it's a lot more challenging, because we sometimes get the jobs that obviously other people do not want to take. So how do we maximize our income in terms of its purchasing power? And obviously the path to legalization is one of those methods that we should use, because it will change our lives. So if you are undocumented, what is your path to legalization? And you may be undocumented because you came here legally, overstayed your time as a visitor or other categories, and you're now here, obviously, undocumented. Or you came here without inspection. You came across the border. And more, as the pandemic moves on, as Title 42 expires, I think it's May 23rd of this year, we're going to have more immigrants come into the cities. Why? Because the cities understand the plight of new immigrants in America, whether those come in here with inspection or without inspection. And most of those people are educated. Obviously, some of them are uneducated or even illiterate. So the American dream may take longer for some of them more so than for others. What we have to understand is, if you come to this country and English is your second language, you are at a disadvantage. And there are organizations like the YMCA, a lot of the City University of New York colleges have programs for people with English as a second language, and we have to obviously take those programs seriously. For those who came here with inspection, once you overstay your time by 6 months and you leave the U.S., you are subject to a 3-year bar if you return to the U.S. For those who come here and overstay by 6 months and you leave the U.S., you're subject to a 10-year bar if you leave the U.S. So obviously, most people who come will stay because they do not want to be subject to unlawful presence, whether it be the 3-year bar or the 10-year bar. Once in the United States, those of you who came with a visa, an immediate relative could petition for you. That is a parent, petitioning for their child 21 years or younger, a child 21 years or older petitioning for their parent, or a spouse petitioning for the other spouse. That's called the immediate relative category. Not brothers, sisters, not children over 21. People make that mistake. Additionally, from the time you get your green card, you should petition for anyone that you qualify to petition for. Some people make the mistake of waiting until they become a citizen. That is wrong. Once you have your green card, you could petition as a citizen, a brother, sister. They could petition for their siblings, and that takes almost 12 years. But that person has to be outside the U.S. If they are inside the U.S., they have to be grandfathered under 245I to get a green card in the United States. Also, if it's a parent petitioning for their children, they also have to be grandfathered to get their green cards in the United States. Otherwise, they have to get a provisional waiver. Now, it is very important to understand this because some people believe that they could go back to their home country to collect their green card, and when they do so, they got stuck in their home country because they didn't have a provisional waiver. And the provisional waiver is for unlawful presence. It is not for any fraud that person may have committed to get a visa or any criminal activities they may or may not have, obviously in their own country or in the U.S. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Now, how about those people who come here without inspection? If you come to this country without inspection, it means that you cannot basically get any green card in the United States. Why? It's called the Life Act, and it was passed December 21st, 2000 by President Clinton, a Democrat. Unless you are grandfathered under 245I, that a program that existed and ended on April 30th, 2001, that is the only way to overcome that entering the U.S. without inspection. If you enter the U.S. without inspection, you may have to get a provisional waiver. So if you have to. So if you get married to a U.S. citizen, you could get a provisional waiver if you're petitioning for your spouse. There's no provisional waiver for a parent. So if a parent came here without inspection and their child petitioned for them, there's no provisional waiver. The only thing that your parent can do is get married to a U.S. citizen to get a provisional waiver. There are many people who are parents, they have a child here, 21 years or older, and those parents could benefit from those kids, but the U.S. government doesn't allow provisional waivers for those parents. The reason being is that they are trying to avoid people who come here, have a child, and then that child, when that child is 21, they petition for the parent. So they are making anchor babies, something that Republicans and Democrats don't like when people come here and they have a child and that child wants to petition for them. Is that law cruel and inhumane? Yes. Can that law be changed? Yes. Speak to your state senator, Senator Schumer, who is the majority leader, and Senator Gillibrand, who also represents New York, about changes in the immigration law. You could also call your congressional representatives like Nydia Velasquez, Yvette Clarke, Hakeem Jeffries, who may one day be the majority whip in the U.S. Congress. These are the individuals that you have to get to help change the law, especially when the law is cruel and inhumane. And those laws that are cruel and inhumane, we have to take them seriously. Because we have seen, unfortunately, from the recent war that started in the Ukraine, how white people are treated differently from black immigrants. Since the Biden has been in office, over 25,000 people were put on planes and sent back to Haiti, as opposed to 100,000 people from the Ukraine being welcome here, praise the Lord, but they have obviously a better path to legalization than the Haitian community. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. Another area of law that we have to take into consideration is people who are coming here over the border. Almost probably 50 to 90% or more are people who are coming here and seeking political asylum. Unfortunately, the burden of proof when you come at the border to enter the U.S. is a lower standard than you have when you present your case in immigration court. Most people think, unfortunately, coming across the border, that they need a good lawyer who understands the law. Unfortunately, that is not sufficient. Fact win cases. And most attorneys will not take some of these political asylum cases because they do not want to be involved with frivolous lawsuits claiming political asylum. That's an ethics violation. So most of the people that come here seeking political asylum are at the disposal to crooks in the communities, notaries, who will help them misrepresent the facts. And whether or not those facts are misrepresented, they will not prevail on their political asylum applications. So what is your path to legalization? One of the things that you have to do, a person seeking political asylum, is to try to work with some of the nonprofits in New York City, in the broader communities, to represent you at your cases. That way you get the best representation as possible, and hopefully you could prevail on your political asylum application. Many of these people seek to get TPS, temporary protected status. So those who are coming in from Venezuela, Sudan, Ukraine, all of those countries, they may have filed a political asylum application when they enter the border, but a lot of them are granted TPS, temporary protected status. And that's what it means exactly. Eventually, it will expire. And those of you who have TPS, you need to consult with an attorney to determine your path to legalization. Do not depend on your political asylum application, because you may have to withdraw it sooner rather than later and depend on your TPS application. So how do you move from TPS to being a green card holder? You need to get an attorney, preferably one who is a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, like myself, for 25 years, that have that type of experience. Again, the number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Or visit the website of the law firm Figueroa and Associates at Ask the Lawyer, and that is www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. One of the issues that we have spoken about previously in the show is the word trust. I always remember going into this supermarket in my country, Trinidad and Tobago, and it had a sign there that the shopkeeper had. And that sign said, "To trust is to bus, and to bus is like hell. No trust, no bus, no hell." What did that mean for the shopkeeper? He didn't give credit, because he don't know where you're going to disappear to, that your money, money that you may owe for groceries. Similarly, obviously, in the Bible, we call it the Holy Bible, the words of God, Jesus Christ. God said, trust no man. And when God said trust no man, He did that as a warning to us. And that warning is basically that the only person that you can trust is God. You can't trust your lawyer, you can't trust your doctor, you can't trust your wife, you can't trust your children, and you can't trust that notary out there. So when we go to these notaries and we talk about this time and time again, you are putting yourself at risk. When you sign documents that are blank, when you sign documents with misrepresentations, immigration doesn't take apologies. Immigration will place you in deportation. And because of those lies, you may not be eligible for any immigration relief. You cannot say, well, you know, the notary was a pastor. You cannot say that the notary come from your country. You cannot say the notary was your brother or your sister. I have seen time and time again for the last quarter century people who have been victimized by these notaries. But what I have also seen is people who are desperate for a job, people who want to feed their children, people who want to feed their parents, people who want to survive and get out of homelessness, people who have families back home, especially their own children, and we call them barrel children, that need food, that need clothing from their family in America. People come to this country because their countries cannot sustain them. And the United States government does not take seriously its moral and its location responsibilities to the Americas, to the Caribbean, and yes, to Africa. America only want to go Africa because the Chinese are there. That's not a reason to be there. You have a large African American population, and America should have been interested in Africa a long time ago. So America has to become friendlier to its neighbor. I know that Trump and Joe Biden wish America was located off the coast of France or within Western Europe, but that will never be physically possible. And what America needs to do is to have trade agreements, to have U.S. aid in abundance to the countries that surround them. America has not been generous with its COVID vaccines to these countries and also to Africa. They scorn us. They have joint agreements with Europe, but no charity to our people. And we are their, for want of a better word, reserve army. We take most of the menial jobs in America that either white America or African America do not want to take because they know about our desperation. And when people are desperate, they do nothing to protect us. We have to protect ourselves by understanding that basic principle of trusting no one. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Go to our website, Figueroa & Associates, the law firm, at Ask the Lawyer, www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. I am brutally honest, truthful to you. I tell you the truth. I let you know what your rights are. And I'm very, very, very intelligent. Peace.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a free consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our free paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a free consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.